giant, boys, giant. He absolutely slammed that spinnerbait. Stay hooked, eh? Stay hooked. Oh, it's a good one. Come on. Let's get off these rocks at the same time. Yes. That'll do, boys. That's what we're after. Oh, look at that fish. Come here. Boom. Oh, that was magnificent. Just watch him come up and absolutely inhale that. Spinnerbait, boys. Nice fish. 2.44. Very good shot for that, my bro. Oh, there we go. Nice and aggressive. That's what we want, boys. That's how we roll. Dogs. Spinnerbait is a great way to catch bass. For some reason, they just absolutely hone in on it, and it's a really good bait. And funny enough, like, not just, you know, in the autumn months and that kind of thing. I think that, you know, now we're coming out of winter. The water temperature is 18.2 degrees, just so that you guys have a reference point, obviously Celsius. And that was a lovely fish that I just caught there throwing a spinnerbait. Just a nice cast and slow wind. So I think just one of the tips that would be gear on my recommendations on what's going to help you fish, in my opinion, a spinnerbait a bit better, more effectively, and particularly in a sort of shallow water, close quarter scenario. So line wise, I won't go less than a 17 pound. It's unnecessary. So I throw a 17 pound fluorocarbon line. I throw a Seaguar Tatsu, but just get whatever fluorocarbon that's sort of in your budget price range, and I'm good. So 17, you can even throw it on 20 if you go 2.5 ounce spinnerbait. 20 pound line, it's fine. But 17 for me is good. I like to throw it around heavy cover. I like to target big fish, and I want to have the right line to do the job. I don't want to have a war story at the end of the day about how I lost a 2 kilo or a 3 kilo or something like that. So I like to control the controllables as much as I can, and I think a 17 pound fluorocarbon for me is ideal on a spinnerbait. Rod wise, I've got a Verto. It's a 7-foot MH, so it's a 7-foot medium heavy rod. It's rated all the way up to 20 pound line, and it is a wonderful spinnerbait rod. The key with that 7-foot length is to be able to present the bait, and this is basically the point of this video. When you're fishing up shallow with a spinnerbait, you don't want the spinnerbait crashing in to that shallow water. You want to be able to have the right rod to be able to stop that spinnerbait. Effectively, you want to be able to stop that spinnerbait as it touches the water. That spinnerbait must just slide into that shallow water. You click the reel over, 1 or 2 winds, the spinnerbait's already working. In that case, it's exactly a similar kind of deal. The fish just came up and absolutely inhaled it. So I don't want to be crashing into the shallow cover and that type of thing. So the 7-foot rod gives me a lot of control. The action of the rod's perfect to set the spinnerbait. It's a great chatterbait rod as well, jackhammers and things like that. So that's got everything I need for my spinnerbait, the rod, in terms of its action. 7-foot length is perfect, getting under overhangs. I can show you on the shoreline here what I'm talking about now, so you can see exactly what I'm referring to. We have water hyacinth, we got grass, we got timber, we got all these kind of things down here at Ananda. So for me, accuracy is very important, and being able to present that spinnerbait as softly, as gently as possible up in that shallow water and get those blades moving. I don't want to crash it in there. I really don't think that's any benefit whatsoever. So that is the absolute key. So on your reel as well, just control that, try and get it, just practice it. If you have a swimming pool at home, just practice that spinnerbait cast where you can sidearm roll, like a sidearm roll cast, where you stop that spinnerbait as it's about to hit the water. So I'm watching that spinnerbait in the air the whole time, I'm getting a feel for it, and as it's about to enter the water, I put my thumb onto the spool of the bait caster, it stops that spinnerbait dead in its tracks, and it just slides and glides into the water. That's another thing that's great about the 7-foot length of this particular rod on the Verto range. The quality of the blank is incredible, but that side arm cast with a 7-foot is just so easy. You don't have a long rod where you kind of need to use 2 hands to hold it, and you swing the spinnerbait and it's slashing in the water. You know, if you're fishing off the boat, you don't want the spinnerbait to hit the water at all. So just a nice gentle sidearm roll cast, and you can slip it under all of these overhangs. So let me show you now with absolute ease. And that is how, you know, like that's basically similar to how I caught that fish, guys. Like that's how I catched him. So we can see here as a case in point. Okay, this is a little bit offshore, this bit of timber here, but look, as we go shallow, I can actually see there now. There's a lay down coming in there. There's a lay down coming in there. There's a hole in the back there. There's an overhang here with some shade. I can slide a spinnerbait right into that section there, and there will be absolutely no splash whatsoever. And that's just going to give me a huge advantage. You see some water hyacinth down the bank, so there's a couple of key areas. I want to be really close to that cover because I'm targeting a fish that's potentially sitting underneath that hyacinth, underneath this overhang in the shade pocket here. I'm going to throw it into that hole there, come over that lay down, catch that fish there. Sun is coming out now, so it's going to target, you know, it's going to position those fish and give me targets much easier than it has been so far this morning, which has been overcast. So that's just the tips that I want to give you guys from my personal perspective on how to get that spinnerbait to work a bit better. I think potentially guys are not getting some fish in shallow water on a spinnerbait because they're just crashing that spinnerbait in there. So get the right gear, and just be mindful of the presentations that I've mentioned here, and I'm sure you guys are going to catch a lot more fish on a spinnerbait. It's an incredible bait. It's not very difficult to fish if you can just get your presentation right. Then it's just about getting the speed right on the different blade combinations. There's so many different spinnerbaits on the market, so grab yourself a couple of bunches of different ones and just give them a try and start to build your confidence in spinnerbaits. That thing catches very, very good quality fish, and it can get the job done very, very quickly as well. Hope you enjoyed the tip, guys.